I'm a little bit late, but I wanted to make a video about the new year, specifically looking back at my accomplishments for 2025, as well as my yearly favorites, and also going through my goals for 2026, both art-wise and personal. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Before I get into it though, I just want to mention that what I am drawing here is Yuko Meow's Draw This in Your Style challenge. I found this on Instagram. This is of Winter Miku. I just wanted to go back to my roots a little bit, you know, draw a cute anime girl. And I don't do a lot of these like bigger digital portraits anymore. I do love them, but they take a lot of hours. It's a lot of time and work for me, and I kind of have to prioritize my uni work over my personal work. But I had some time off because I had Christmas break, so I thought I'd do something for myself and actually commit to a bigger drawing. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Also, I'd like to say that you're currently watching Procreate's auto recording, and that's because I don't screen record the sketches, the line art, and the base colors. So after that, the rest of this illustration will be screen recorded, because that's arguably the interesting part of the process. So if you don't like the way it looks at the moment, it will be more interesting once you get to the screen recording, which will only be in like 2-3 minutes, so stick around. So yeah, let's talk about what I really wanted to talk about in this video. So starting with my 2025 highlights or accomplishments, specifically art-wise, this was my first full year of both art and social media. I've spoken about this a bazillion times on my channel, so I won't get too much into it, but I kind of had a very long break from both art and social media for a few years. And I think summer of 2024 is when I then started coming back to it. Ever since July 2024, I have been trying to post consistently, and I've been tracking, you know, my posts and my stats and stuff like that. So 2025 was the first full year of consistency, I guess, for the most part. Like I missed a week here and there. When uni gets too busy, I can't really be focusing on stuff like this. And then also I think I took a break from posting in the entirety of May, just because I had a very long trip where I just didn't have time for posting. I didn't have enough content to post anyway. My first full year back of art, and that for me is a very big accomplishment, because I have been stuck, I guess, out of love with art for a very long time, and it also took me a very long time to get that spark back. But I would say it's for the most part back. I still have some like internal struggles that I'm working with this year to allow myself to fully enjoy art again, but I think I'll get into that later in the video. But yeah, that was one accomplishment. Another one is that I finally finished a sketchbook for the first time in many years. I think my last one was maybe 2019. I don't know if that was when I last used a sketchbook or if I actually finished a sketchbook then. So my last finished one might be in 2018, either 2018 or 2019. I finally did finish a sketchbook in 2025, and you can actually watch the flip through here on my channel. So that is another accomplishment. I guess another one is that one of my drawings was actually on display at an exhibition at my university. It wasn't anything big. We tend to have an annual like poetry competition thing, and my piece was one among many that was chosen for this exhibition. And yeah, that's the first time I've actually seen my work up in an exhibition, other than one exhibition I think I had with 2 friends when I was a teenager. But that wasn't me being chosen for this. This was us choosing this together, if that makes sense. But someone actively looked at my work and went, this is good enough to put in our exhibition. And yes, it's just a uni exhibition, so it wasn't anything big. It's not like hundreds of people were sending in their work and there was a lot of competition. But either way, it was just nice to see it up on the wall. Lastly, I hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Here's to more growth in 2026. Then I have a few highlights from 2025, but these are just like personal ones. And the first one was that I was invited on a family vacation to Florida by my boyfriend's family. Yeah, I haven't actually been on vacation in many years. My boyfriend's family did give me plane tickets to Tenerife for my birthday, 2024, I think. So that was my first vacation in very many years. Vacation all the way in Florida. It's the other side of the world, guys. It's crazy. So I went to Disney World, Universal. I was also there for the opening of the new Epic Studios whatever park, because it opened in May and we were there for the entire month of May. Hence why I didn't post at all in May. So yeah, that really was the vacation of a lifetime. I had a great time. And right before that trip, I actually had a Chase Atlantic concert, which was my first concert in very many years because I've always lived in Norway. So people don't come to Norway, and when they do, they only ever come to the capital, and I live 5 hours away, so I'm just not gonna do that. But one of the pros about now living in London is that people actually do come here to play music, and I don't have to travel far for concerts, so that's great. So I really took advantage of that. I went to Chase Atlantic, and right before Christmas, I saw 3 Days Grace. Yes, you heard me correctly. I saw 3 Days Grace live. That's insane. And lastly, it sounds weird adding it as a highlight because in itself, it's not a good thing. But to me, it kind of is. And that was I had a minor surgery this year. Obviously, having surgery is not fun. And I don't want surgery, but it felt good to me because it was an issue that I have been dealing with for a handful of years now, probably like, oh my god, 5, 6. And for the first time, I am completely pain-free. And I haven't been in 5, 6 years, so that's crazy. You know what? I'd do the surgery again if it meant being pain-free, though I actually really don't want to jinx that because I don't want to go through that again. But yeah, those were my 2025 highlights. So now I'd like to talk about my yearly favorites. I love talking about this. I do this every year where I'm actually posting videos. I always do this because I also like to keep track each month of just my favorite things so I can go back on this. My memory is too horrible otherwise. I would never be able to tell you my yearly favorites otherwise. But starting with books, I had a really, really disappointing year for books. Not only did I read a lot less than I would have liked, but I also didn't like many books at all this year. Like terrible reading year, absolutely terrible. I think I read 13 books, and the year before I read 24 books in 2024. And I wanted to hit 25 for 2025, but every book I picked up sucked. So out of all the books I read, only one got a 5-star. Only one, and it was Sunrise on the Reaping. And obviously it was getting 5 stars because Suzanne Collins can do no wrong. If you don't know, this is the newest book in the Hunger Games series. So it's the book following Haymitch. So good, so heartbreaking. I recommend it to everyone. Have fun when the movie comes out. It's gonna be absolutely devastating, but I'm so excited for it. It was a great book. I really loved it. And in second place, I actually have a duology. I couldn't really pick between the two books, so I'm just gonna kind of put them in the same slot, I guess, which is the King of Scars duology. So it's King of Scars and Rule of Wolves, which is the last of what's out of the Grishaverse universe by Leigh Bardugo. So this is the story following Nikolai and Zoya. They were all right. Like, I enjoyed it. I wouldn't read it again, but I enjoyed it, you know? And Nikolai is my favorite character in the whole universe, so it was nice reading more about him. And then in third place, I guess I'll add Alchemized. I've kind of mixed feelings about it, but for a book at its size, I think it still did quite well. Like, it didn't feel too much like a drag. Like, obviously, if it felt too much like a drag, I would have just DNF'd it. You know, I would have just given up because I believe it was it over 1,000 pages? I think it must have been over 1,000 pages. So if I wasn't having a good time, I would have just quit. And then some honorable mentions is The Kiss of Deception. And then I read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. And I guess Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, because I finally finished the Harry Potter books this year. Going on to games, I wouldn't say it was a disappointing year, but I didn't really play a lot of games for myself. I play a lot of games with my partner. That's like our favorite thing to do together. And since we're always either long distance or mid distance, we take time every night, or at least every day at some point, to play a game together for an hour or two. And when I say together, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a multiplayer game. A lot of the time, we'll play the same single player game together. Not together, but we'll play it separately, but together. So it's like we're playing together. And also, we just play a lot of like indie games and stuff, like cheap games. But I believe it was 2025 that I discovered Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb is definitely one of my favorite games ever. I love Cult of the Lamb. It's so good. And by the time I'm recording this, it's actually the day before the DLC comes out, which I'm really excited for. I'm replaying this right now. I was playing it at the beginning of 2025, and then I'm playing it at the beginning of 2026. Second place, I'm giving to Repo. Definitely have over 100 hours on that, and it's so good. That is actually a multiplayer game. In third place, I will also join 2 games together, and that is Slime Rancher 1 and 2. They're just nice little cozy games. I had so much fun with that. And then some honorable mentions are Moonstone Island, Supermarket Simulator, Dredge, and Water Park Simulator. And then for TV, I never really have a lot here because I don't watch a lot, to be honest. I'm the type of person to have like 10 movies that I watch and repeat and then nothing else. I have watched the same few movies my entire life. But number one was a movie that came out December 2024, but I didn't catch it in the cinemas until I came back to the UK after Christmas break. So I saw it for the first time in January 2025. And that is the third Sonic movie, which is so good. Like the first movie was, it was alright. And then I saw the second one in the cinema when it came out, and I was completely blown away. I was like, whoa, they actually went above and beyond for this. They're so good. I've seen the third Sonic movie 3 times in 1 year because it was so good. I'd watch it more as well, to be honest, if I had it on anything. Second place, I will give to K-pop Demon Hunters. I really loved this movie. This one too, I think I've seen 3 times. That's kind of funny. I didn't know I'd seen both of them 3 times. And then in third place, I will give it to Freerun, one of the few anime I've actually seen recently. And season 2 is actually airing right now, and I actually really like Freerun. I'm working on a drawing of her right now, actually. And then some honorable mentions. I'd say Squid Game season 3. I have a lot of complaints about it, but overall I still kind of enjoyed it anyway. Even if there are some things I would have changed. I have The Summer Hikaru Died, which is pretty much the only anime I actually sat and watched on my own. No, it was quite good. I actually thought it was really entertaining. And then I'll add the Spider-Verse movies because I finally saw them this year and they're so good. I should have seen them so much earlier, honestly. And yeah, I guess lastly I'll just do songs. And the 3 I have here are actually my top 3 on Spotify Wrapped as well, so they were the songs that I listened to the most throughout the year. And number 1 is Undefeatable, which is from the Sonic Frontiers game. And then second place I had Hold Them Down, and this is from the Epic musical. So as you can tell, this my list was quite nerdy this year, but I feel like it tends to be, so I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. And third place, I have The Sun by Brittany Broski, which is so random. I did not know she made music, because she's just someone that comes up on my TikTok occasionally, because I think she just does funny stuff. And I don't know, podcasts maybe? But like I've seen her face before. And yeah, so these are my top 3 songs. And some honorable mentions are In Your Fantasy by Atiz. I have Ghost in the Shell by Minerva, and Cry For Me by The Weeknd. And yeah, so these were all my yearly favorites. To my goals, I have some art related stuff and some personal stuff. So I guess going to my 2026 goals as an artist, I think one of the biggest things for me is that I want to focus on quality rather than quantity, which is something I kind of struggled with this year. I feel like I don't make a lot of good, big pieces that I'm proud of because they're more time consuming. So it's easier to, make a lot of content or get a lot of content out if, obviously you're kind of rushing them a little bit. They're not big projects, but I want to make good, big stuff, I want to feel proud about my art. And if that takes a little longer, then so be it. I mean, I do try to post 3 times a week on YouTube Shorts and TikTok, but I'll just have to maybe go down to twice a week if that means getting more quality work out. The next goal is to work more on backgrounds and landscapes. This is actually something that was a goal for 2025 as well. I do feel like I did a good job in 2025 actually doing it. I just want to do it even more because I'm still not confident with it. My next goal is to make an animation. I really do want to step into animation. So yeah, just make any animation. Doesn't have to be a long one, just anything. Next, I would like to finish a sketchbook. We'll see. I'm not going to be super strict about this because realistically, am I going to be able to do this? But I'll have it as a goal regardless. That will be my motivation to keep picking up my sketchbook, I guess. Next is to make a painting on canvas. I want to actually make like a canvas painting, something I can just hang up on the wall or like display somehow. Because I haven't done that in a while now. I don't think I did that at all last year. I want to draw more consistently. This is a big one for me, especially because I feel like by drawing more consistently, I learn to fear it a little less, if that makes sense. Drawing is supposed to be fun and relaxing, and I'm supposed to want to do it. But if I'm always thinking like, why am I going to draw if it's not going to be good, or if I can't draw because I don't feel like recording right now, like, I just want to draw more regardless. And then this one is a pretty big one for me, which is both art related and also personal, and it's to take breaks. I want to be able to relax and let myself relax, because I am really hard on myself. I am a little bit of a workaholic as well, and that to me means that I can't let myself relax or do anything that I don't deem productive without like really beating myself up over it. But that means that even when I am quote unquote relaxing, I'm not actually relaxing, because all I'm doing is stressing over all the things that I feel like I should be doing. And this is ultimately what leads to, burnout and just a lot of emotional turmoil. And I just don't need to be doing that to myself, like it's not like there's external factors just making me feel this way. I'm making myself feel this way, and it's stupid. So something I want to be able to do is to actually let myself relax and not feel guilty for it, which means letting myself read a book, go play a game, and not sit there and be like, I should be editing my YouTube video, or I should be drawing, I should be working on my uni work, no, my body wants a break, I'm gonna let it take a break, and I'm not gonna feel bad for it either. I'll do the work, in an hour, or I'll do it the next day. Which also kind of brings me to my next point, which is to take life slower, because I do kind of always do everything and always move as if there's an emergency. I've got so much urgency in everything I do, and I just don't need to be doing that, like I want to be able to enjoy the present and not always constantly be worrying about the next second, the next minute, the next hour, the next day. I just want to be here. One more fairly big goal that I have for myself is to create more than I consume. I kind of mean this in two different ways. I mean it in one way by like, I want to spend more time doing my hobbies instead of scrolling. I'm not someone who scrolls that much, but say on an off day when I don't feel like doing anything, it's easy to just get in bed and then just scroll on TikTok for a few hours, and I don't want to do that. I hate when my screen time is too high, and I have noticed that the more I scroll, the worse I feel, both physically and mentally. I feel like my head's just in a darker place when I've spent a lot of time online, not just because of what I'm seeing online, but it just makes me feel really bad. So I don't want to be doing that. If I'm bored, or even if I'm out in public and I'm on transportation or something, I don't want to whip out my phone. I'd be better off like reading a book. That would also get me to read more books this year. So yeah, hobbies over scrolling. And then the other way I want to create more than I consume is that I also want to prioritize drawing and creating art over making content. I feel like a lot of the time I feel like drawing, but then I have, a TikTok I should be editing, or a YouTube video I should be editing, I have a voiceover I should record. And a lot of the time I end up prioritizing the content because, I set a schedule for myself and I try to stick to it. But by doing that, it makes me draw less. And then once I'm done editing, I don't feel like drawing anymore, I am first and foremost an artist, not a content creator. I want to prioritize creating art, and when I'm done, when I'm satisfied, then I can go on to doing, the boring stuff, the admin stuff, editing content and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure I'm prioritizing the actual creation of my art more than the content. And yeah, these are my goals. I've got more like tiny goals for myself, like finish specific things. Like I've been working on Persona 5 Royal for a few years now, so I'd like to actually finish that this year. I'm in the middle of the Heroes of Olympus book series. I'd like to finish that this year as well. Especially with books, I've got a lot of different goals because, like I said, I've had such a disappointing book year in 2025. And no more, I say. Only good books in 2026. So this year, I'm finally getting into Brandon Sanderson. I think I might wait till the summer though, so I can like fully commit without uni getting in the way. So I might wait a little bit. But Brandon Sanderson, I'm coming for you this year. Those are my goals. I'd be more than happy to hear what your guys' goals for the year is. So drop them down in the comments, I guess. 2026 is both a scary and an exciting year. I am graduating this year, so I am officially done with all education this year. I'm sending in all my projects by Easter break, and after that I'm done. I'm moving out, and I'm moving in with some other people, and then I will be entering the big scary world. I'm staying in London, hopefully, which brings me to the question of, do I get a part-time job? Hopefully I can get an apprenticeship or a placement. Hopefully I can keep doing freelance. What am I going to do about money? Because I don't want a job because I want to be able to commit to my art. And I'm hoping that being done with all school, that means that I can then fully commit. but I will still have to make money in the meantime until I can make money off of my art. So as someone who is very like plan and schedule oriented, this is so stressful because the future is nothing but questions ahead for me, but I'm trying to, kind of rework my mentality and then just think of it as just exciting rather than terrifying. So back to the drawing that I'm working on, because I have not spoken about it yet. It's the same routine that I normally have with these like digital portraits, which is, sketch, line art, base colors, shading, rendering, and then lighting. So after I've done the shading, I then color the line art to make it softer. So I normally take the colors of the areas and then make them slightly darker so that they're still sort of outlines, but they're not one flat color and they're not harsh. And then I take all the line art and the coloring layers and I merge them all together. So I have everything on one layer, and then I do the rendering. And then after that, I clipping mask some layers on top of that singular layer and go crazy with layer modes, which is for the most part multiply, overlay, and add. Those are the main three that I use for different lighting and effects and stuff. And then something else that I did with this drawing is that I actually used another overlay layer, going in with pink for a lot of the outer like line art. And I thought that kind of gave it a really cool effect, actually. So I'm not sure if you're seeing it yet in this video, but you will see it at least. I used a variety of different brushes for texture. I've been trying to use more texture in my digital art to make it look not quite so digital. So for the line art, I actually discovered a new pen, which was really nice. I actually really enjoyed the line art this time, which I don't normally enjoy because I don't normally have really good like brushes for that, or I think I normally just use my sketching brush for that, but I actually wanted to do line art. So I used one of Procreate's new brushes, and it was called Kestrel, and it felt really nice and it looked really nice. Like, I had a good time using that, I really like that pen. And then for coloring, I used the same brush that I normally use, which is called Round Render, but it's from Jing Sketch Basics, which is a free pack that I downloaded, and I use a lot of those brushes because they're really good. And then for the fluffy clothing, I used some different brushes, like Thin Ink, again from Jing Sketch Basics, and some kind of mystery brush. It's one of my favorite brushes to use for texture and stuff. I have no clue where it came from though, and for some reason, I've just named it 1 on Procreate, so I can't tell you where it came from. I don't know if it's a Procreate brush. I don't know if I downloaded it. I've only downloaded free brushes though, so if you scour the internet enough, I guess you can, in theory, find it. Sorry guys, I can't tell you what brush that is because I honestly have no clue. Then the painting was done after 7.5 hours, and I'm quite happy with it. I think it felt nice going more back to my roots a little bit. Alright, well, I guess I'll do the part that I like to have at the end of all my videos, where I talk about what I've been up to lately. So the books that I've been working on, I read and finished Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands, which is the second book in the Emily Wilde series, and I'm currently working on Red Rising, which is a very big like fantasy sci-fi series. So I told you guys I was going strong with the books this year, so I'm starting off strong. For games, I've been playing a lot of Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I bought this for myself as a little treat over Christmas break, and I think I've racked up over 60 hours already. I do play this every day, and I really enjoy it. I'm into Sanrio for the first time in my life. Can you imagine? I actually bought stickers and stuff for my Kindle. So I've kind of like revamped it a little bit. So this is what my Kindle looks like now, which is very nice. I got a game called Fantasy Life. Oh wait, what is it called? Fantasy Life I, the Girl Who Steals Time, or something like that. I got that for Christmas. I've been playing that as well. I was playing Repo with my boyfriend. Not so much at the moment though, because right now we're playing Cult of the Lamb because the DLC is coming out. And then I did go back into Animal Crossing New Horizons once because of that new update that came out. And I don't have the time at the moment because I'm focusing on other games. But this year I do want to come back to Animal Crossing, because when I went back into the game to check out the update, I was walking on my island and I realized it's actually really ugly. Like, I can do better. I don't want to leave my Animal Crossing island like that, I'm gonna go back to it. I'm gonna make my island look really nice. Then I can leave it on a good note. To some things I've been watching, I finished season 5 of Stranger Things over Christmas. It was alright. I've rewatched all the Harry Potter movies over Christmas, like we do every year. I started watching a few episodes of Parks and Recreation because my sister started watching it and she wanted me to see it, but I will not be watching that until I'm back home because I watch it with my family. And I am currently watching Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 with my boyfriend because that's what's airing right now, and then when we're back together, we'll also start watching Frieren Season 2. So yeah. Oh, actually, I started watching The Apothecary Diaries, and it's been on my watch list for a long time because I always knew it would be up my alley. But I started watching it only a few days ago, and I've already seen a handful of episodes, which is crazy for me because I'm really bad at watching things. But I actually do really enjoy it. It is really good. Those are the things that I have been doing lately. I have now started back up at uni. I started back up on the 19th of January. So, now we're stepping into project territory, and it's also my very last semester, so it's gonna be crazy. And I do want to actually really commit to my projects and do well, but I'll do my best to document it so at least I can take you guys along. I guess my other project at the moment is that I'm working on some paintings, some free-run, just sketchbook paintings, so that will probably be my next video. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna get off and work on that now. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I would love to hear your 2026 goals and your 2025 favorites and stuff like that. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video because I really enjoyed making these videos. I like the chatty videos. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week.